At 23 years old, Kylian Mbappé became the second only person to ever score a hat-trick in the World Cup finals, something that hasn't been done in over half a century. At such a young age, Mbappé has already had a career better than most players can only dream of. At this age, Mbappe's numbers are higher than even those of both Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo at the same age. But before we dig deeper into that, it seems that despite the individual greatness that Mbappé has shown us since he first came into the spotlight, it seems that not a lot of people like him. In fact, I dare to say he's actually pretty hated by a surprising number of football fans. So why exactly is that? Well, today we're here to answer that question and also take a look at why Kylian Mbappé might just deserve more respect. But before we start, with the World Cup over and a new year coming, make sure you're keeping up with the world of football with today's sponsor, OneFootball. OneFootball is the all-in-one app made for football fans. You can see all the live scores, stats, and news headlines to keep you up to date with the world of football and everything in it. OneFootball lets you personalize news notifications and makes it easy to follow your favorite teams and players. And their lightning-fast match updates make it so that you never miss a goal, no matter where you are. They also have a feature where you can watch live matches and post-game highlights from all over the world, including different leagues and different competitions, making it incredibly convenient for you to get your daily fix of football. You can also look at the latest news, drama, scores, and upcoming matches, so you're always up to date no matter what. Their advanced game stats and analytics also lets you break down your favorite players' performances like goals by headers, goals scored by left or right foot, passing accuracy, and so much more. So make sure you click the link in the description to download OneFootball and stay up to date with everything football. And don't miss out on a single thing. Thanks to OneFootball for sponsoring this video. First of all, where exactly is all this hate coming from? It's been growing slowly, especially in the beginning of the 2021-22 season. Grew exponentially until this season, even further into the World Cup. And let me show you an example of what I mean. Let's roll the clips. Like I said, Mbappe hate is definitely out there. Of course, every footballer gets hate to a certain, I guess you could say, type of degree. But I personally believe that all this really started to arise around 2021, when Lionel Messi would join PSG. Now, don't be shy if this is you, because I know a lot of my friends who supported Barcelona was solely because of Messi, and they would of course begin to watch PSG games more and more, try and support the club as well when Messi moved over. There's nothing wrong with supporting a player over a club, and don't let anyone tell you otherwise. But as PSG would start to get more regular viewers, it's no secret that Messi would struggle in the first season with Ligue 1. But really, the biggest problem was the lack of chemistry, specifically surrounding Messi and Kylian Mbappé. Just to give you guys a reminder, PSG was 100% Mbappe's team. He was the superstar of the club, the city, and the country. So of course, PSG's playstyles and tactics would subsequently revolve around him. And when Messi had to go through that transition period where he wasn't playing as great as we expected him to, many people would try to look for someone to blame. And if you watched enough of PSG, one glaring thing would stand out: Messi's chemistry with Kylian Mbappé. It was clear that it wasn't all there just yet. At times, we would see Mbappé and Messi struggling to open up plays for each other or simply even setting each other up. There have even been moments when one of the other was visually frustrated with some of the decisions the other was making when it came to the final third of the pitch. This was when Mbappé would begin to be seen as a player with a huge ego. The narrative made it seem like he was someone who was selfish and was overall the main problem for their chemistry. Like, let's keep it 100. Anytime someone says something bad about Messi or even Ronaldo, people will start to attack them. But if it's someone who just happens to play with these two players and noticeably creates chemistry issues, then an even greater amount of people would join in on the blame and say that this person is this and this person is that. That's just the way it is. But you have to look at it from Mbappe's perspective as well. You're one of the youngest, most promising superstars in the world. There hasn't really been someone with the same talent and success at an early age, and you know that you're only gonna get better. But all of a sudden, your club makes a big change that takes away some of your responsibilities and opportunities to grow even further. And if you've ever played, you know it's frustrating. You're the star of the team and you want everyone to look up to you, but then all of a sudden you have to share the spotlight. And after PSG failed to meet the expectations of many, after the 2021-22 season, Mbappe definitely wanted to get that spotlight back and go to a club where he can be the undisputed main man once again. And here's where the next big rise of Mbappe haters would really come. As we all remember, Mbappe wanted to leave PSG and take on a new challenge. Mbappe was easily the most sought after player in the world. Literally any club would automatically be better with him on their squad. But it was Real Madrid that were the closest to actually signing him, and many people were already saying how the move to Madrid would be the move of the decade. And we all know he wanted to go there as well. But we also knew it would be the most expensive transfer of all time. The world was excited for Mbappe to make this next big move of his career, until at the last second, he would turn around and suddenly agree to a contract extension with PSG. PSG had to offer Mbappe literally the best possible contract ever proposed in the entirety of football history, just for him to stay with the club. And trust me, I get it. If I was on Mbappe's shoes, I would 100% have signed with PSG. The offer was just too amazing to pass on. First of all, he got around 100 million euros just as a signing bonus for accepting the contract. Then over the course of 3 years, he will receive 150 million euros in salary. And the most interesting part is that Mbappe was promised to be given influence on club decisions. This contract essentially made him half a billionaire and also made him kind of like the shadow sporting director of the club behind the scenes. Like really, who can say no to such amazing terms? He's basically secured his family for generations to come. However, in doing so, he incurred the wrath of Real Madrid supporters. The troll nickname everyone has been giving Mbappe since then is the infamous MPayPal, which I know you've definitely seen floating around social media. Yes, this is where the name comes from. So over the past year, the image that Mbappe is a spoiled, egotistical, and money-hungry footballer with no real passion for the game just suddenly began to sweep the globe. And I'm not saying Mbappe was 100% free from fault, but come on, you have to give Mbappe the benefit of the doubt and can't really just let 1.5 seasons change the entire narrative of Mbappe's career. And you might have to put respect on his name, especially after the 2022 World Cup. But this brings me to my next point, because Mbappe is doing some mind-blowing things. I really don't think we've ever seen a young player like Mbappe before. I know that our generation is largely filled with Messi and Ronaldo supporters. I mean, it's only natural. Been at the top of the footballing world for such a long time and reached heights that almost seemed impossible to achieve. And it's this fact that I really think overshadows development of the next generational great in Kylian Mbappe. Right now, we're witnessing Mbappe continue to climb to insane heights and potentially even shattering records of his own. I mean, just look at these insane stats provided by Transfermarkt. At the age of 24, Mbappe has played 42 matches ahead of Messi and 8 matches ahead of Ronaldo, while scoring 61 more goals than Messi and 126 more goals than Ronaldo. But it's not just goals. Mbappe also has 37 more assists than Messi and 50 more assists than Ronaldo. And the only thing he's been beat at are the trophies around the same age, having 8 less than Messi but 4 more than Ronaldo. But if you look at the number of Ballon d'Ors, Messi at the age of 24 had 2, while Ronaldo had 1. And meanwhile, Mbappe has yet to win one. In fact, he's yet to even finish in top 3 voting for the award. Really makes you wonder how many journalists don't have him higher on those lists, because at this pace, Mbappe is set to outdo Messi and Ronaldo's all-time numbers if he stays healthy and can play into his mid-30s without a problem. Mbappe was one of the most important factors in France winning the World Cup back in 2018, and the guy was just 18 years old. Oftentimes we hear so much praise for Pelé, who won his first World Cup at 17 years old, which of course is well deserved, but Mbappe doesn't nearly get as much respect for the already incredible start to his career. Sure, the 2018 World Cup got him on the highest placement for the Ballon d'Or voting in his career, a season where he scored 21 goals and had 16 assists in 46 appearances. But if you look at the 2019-2020, 2020-21, and 21-22 seasons, he's become more and more of a beast. He had 30 goals and 18 assists in 37 matches back in 2019-2020, scored 42 goals and had 11 assists in 47 matches for the 2020-21 season, and a crazy 39 goals and 26 assists in 46 matches in 2021. Mbappe is an offensive arsenal that we've never really seen before from someone his age. age, and he's only getting better and better. But for all he's done in those years mentioned, the second highest Ballon d'Or finish he's had was only 6th place, just in this previous 2022 Ballon d'Or. But no doubt after this 2022-23 season, Mbappe is finally starting to silence the haters. Because another reason why he was so disliked is because many accused him of just farming his stats in Ligue 1. People aren't as impressed as they should be, just because Mbappe has played in Ligue 1 for the entirety of his career. But as we just saw in the World Cup, Mbappe can do it at any stage, and he's had probably one of the most individual best performances from a single World Cup ever. Mbappe finished the tournament with 8 goals, tying for the most goals scored by a player in a single World Cup since a prime Ronaldo in 2002. And all in all, Mbappe has 12 World Cup goals in 14 matches. An insane stat for such a prestigious tournament, making him tie Pele's entire World Cup numbers in just about half the time. And I gotta remind you, this dude scored a hat-trick in the World Cup final, the second only to ever do it, which is why I don't understand why Emi Martinez himself is trolling Mbappe so hard. The man came up huge for Argentina, but come on, Mbappe put the ball behind you like 4 times. But anyways, with 2 more potential World Cups for Mbappe to play in, he can easily become the World Cup all-time scorer and all-time assist provider if you really think about it. And so far for this season, he has 19 goals and 5 assists in 20 matches. Already off to a great first half of the season, in which I see him only continuing on that World Cup greatness towards the rest of 2023. And the only thing Mbappe really needs is a Champions League trophy. Then I believe he'll be on his way to winning his very first Ballon d'Or. So mark my words, Mbappe may very well be the next greatest to come. And you guys better start putting respect on his name now, because whether you like him or not, Mbappe is legit and he's here to stay.